What's up, y'all? We're back at you with another MCU list because like our guy Cap, I promise you we can do this all day. Hey, it's Patrice, and today we're gonna go over 10 times actors were injured during your favorite Marvel movies. The way I said that makes it seem like they're risking their health for our entertainment. Nah, they're risking their health for that check. Come on now. In all seriousness though, these actors put in a lot of effort to give us the performances that make the MCU whole, so it's always unfortunate when one of them gets hurt on set. The injuries I'm gonna cover are gonna range from minor that send an actor home for a couple of days to more severe that pauses an entire production.
What are you guys doing here?
Let's start off at the minor end of the spectrum with Tom Holland during the production of Spider-Man No Way Home. Holland is self-admittedly very injury prone, and I've got him on the list a second time, so dude's definitely not lying. In an interview with Cinema Blend, Holland reveals that a minor injury got him sent off the set of the third Spider-Man film, temporarily splitting up the trio of himself, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon. In the interview, Holland doesn't go into detail about how the injury went down, but does say, "I'm pretty injury prone. I'm nursing an injury at the moment. I've hurt my knee on set, so Marvel and Sony have sent me home for 3 days, and I'm losing my mind not doing anything, knowing that Jacob and Zendaya are having so much fun on set without me." At least the injury was minor enough for him to be hurting more from FOMO than his actual wounds.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome home, son.
Now on the other hand, Robert Downey Jr. unfortunately wasn't as lucky. Iron Man 3 had the highest stakes of the entire trilogy, and sticks in my mind as the most intense solo outing for Tony Stark. During production of the film's climax, RDJ had to make a jump from one platform to another. Sounds easy, right? Should be barely an inconvenience. See what I did there? Well, it was actually about a 12-foot drop, and RDJ landed way harder than expected, which sadly resulted in a broken ankle. But being as cucumber cool as his character, RDJ took it in stride and didn't really let it affect him. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, he even says,
I did alright, I broke my ankle once. It really isn't that big a deal, it happens all the time.
The production was still halted for 5 to 6 weeks to let him heal. The most surprising part about this injury is that in the end, they decided to keep that shot in the final cut. So for all my RDJ superfans out there, if you look carefully, you'll be able to see the exact moment he broke his ankle. I mean, some of y'all might want to see that. I don't know who. I'm not judging. Do your thing. Anyway, next injury.
Mommy, a superhero!
That wasn't the only time a Marvel production was halted. Hawkeye star Jeremy Renner unfortunately sustained an injury that stopped the production of the first Avenger film for days. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Avengers director Joss Whedon compliments Renner's athleticism, calling him an amazing fighter whose work is wonderful, precise, and heroic. Because of this, Renner rarely needed a stunt double during production. As cool as it is that Renner already had the skills to perform a lot of his own stunts, it was also to his detriment, as Whedon goes on to say, "One day he just turned wrong and his whole body shut down. He could not do anything. It was an enormous pain. And we had to shut that sequence down and shoot it a couple weeks later." This one leans more towards the serious side of the injury spectrum, so I just want to give props to Renner for pushing through and helping to give us one of the most iconic films of the 2010s. Dang, I'm getting old. 2010s? Here's that other Tom Holland injury I was referring to earlier. Dude really is injury prone. During the end of production of Spider-Man Homecoming, Holland fell down some stairs and messed up his ACL, but because they were almost done filming, he stuck it out and kept working on set, until he had to film a scene of him chasing a bus. And I'm sure like anyone with an injured ACL, he couldn't pull that one off. So instead they had Holland's assistant dressed up for the scene to fill in, so it all worked out in the end.
You're recording.
For research purposes.
The production of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was also halted by the injury of Shuri actress Letitia Wright. Back in August of 2021, Wright was injured on set in an incident involving a stunt rig. Her injury was initially believed to be minor, but turned out to be much more serious as she sustained a critical shoulder fracture and concussion with severe side effects. And because of how much she was needed for filming, the entire production was suspended in November of 2021. Fortunately, she has since recovered, but as soon as they were ready to get back to filming, a COVID outbreak shut it down once again. So we might be waiting for the Black Panther sequel a bit longer. But on a more serious note, the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman is already a lot to handle on top of everything else, so I hope they take the time that they need with the film. So this one isn't confirmed to have happened on set, but I thought it was worth a quick mention. Chris Hemsworth is known for his portrayal of the God of Thunder. as well as being handsome and buff. Most of the time. Despite his tough guy looks, he's still human, and recently suffered a severe back injury alongside the production of Thor: Love and Thunder. He reportedly suffered from acute back pain and swelling that made him seek out medical treatment from a specialist. There's no worries though, he's now on the road to recovery, and Thor: Love and Thunder is still on track for a July 2022 release.
It's a little close.
It's very close. That's what you wanted, right?
Guys.
So Sebastian Stan made this list, and surprisingly it isn't for the knife choreography. One, because he was really damn good at flipping it around, and two, because it was, well, a plastic knife. Stan is actually on this list for an injury that occurred during the filming for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Unlike previous injuries, Stan's accident didn't happen during a daring stunt scene or a fast-paced fighting sequence. He actually injured himself during a pretty peaceful part of production. In episode 5 of the series, there's a montage of Sam and Bucky repairing a boat at the docks, and while jumping onto the boat, Stan ended up twisting his ankle pretty badly. In an interview with Variety, he says, "I just landed and twisted my ankle so badly that I thought it was broken, like I actually couldn't walk on it." This wasn't the only injury he had while filming the series. In the same interview, he goes on to detail that during a late night pee, he stubbed his pinky toe incredibly hard and ended up breaking it. This resulted in even more pain for Stan while on set, but he pushed through and kept filming, although he did have to ice his foot in between takes, so that probably wasn't fun. Shang-Chi had some of the most beautifully choreographed fight scenes of any Marvel movie. There's literally no Marvel film topping the way that movie began for me. That, in combination with an incredibly likable main cast, definitely sets the MCU's newest edition up for success. Unfortunately, we all know what went down at this point. In his episode of the popular YouTube series Hot Ones, Simu Liu revealed that the bus fight scene wasn't exactly the easiest to film, considering he got pretty roughed up in the process. The buses were actually on a soundstage and had the ability to move in any direction. This resulted in Liu losing his balance a lot and getting multiple injuries during the shot. Though out of all the injuries, the main one was his kneecap. As Liu explains, "There's this tiny piece jutting out of the roof of the bus, and for some reason my kneecap went straight into it, and I was down and out for a hot sec." Well, I did say the film had some beautiful fight choreography, so it just goes to show that beauty is pain, you know? We've covered RDJ and Chris Hemsworth, so it only makes sense that we bring in the last member of the big three. In the now iconic scene from Captain America: Civil War, Steve Rogers attempts to stop Bucky from flying off in a helicopter with his bare hands. Sheesh, we should do a video on the strength training required for Marvel films because, damn! Anyway, in an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Evans revealed that he actually messed up his arm during the scene. He explains that even though it was a fake helicopter, it still drifted beyond his control. I can definitely see how that happened. They made it look like he was pulling that helicopter with every fiber of his being, so it makes sense that he pulled a muscle as well.
Put your seatbelt on!
Last one, and it's pretty wild. During the filming of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Chris Pratt was briefly knocked unconscious while filming a stunt. The stunt consisted of Pratt and an unnamed co-star hanging from wires, dropping, and landing on a mat. The problem was when Pratt was shown what the stunt consisted of, he noticed that the drop seemed a bit fast, to which the production team responded that they would actually be dropped at half the speed that they were being shown. You guys know where I'm going with this. When filming, they accidentally dropped them at double the speed, knocking Pratt unconscious briefly. He went on to say that he saw a flash of yellow and tasted smoke, but instead of staying down, he got back up and finished the scene out of fear of doing the drop a second time. See, now that's dedication right there. Nah, that's just a survival mechanism. Fortunately, all the actors on this list are recovered and are good to continue doing what they love. I hope this video shines a light on a not so positive aspect of acting that usually goes overlooked, because a lot of actors that you love get hurt while giving us very stellar performances. But they still get that check though. Alright, that's it for now guys, and stay safe.